Okay, I'm going to go ahead and kick things off here. We may have one or two still joining over the next couple of minutes, but I think it's all different people here in our building, so they know what's going on and we can catch them up later. First of all, thank you. I'm Dan Boone. I'm the one who's been annoying you with emails and was able to get Lola to somehow swindle all of you into joining us and helping us out. So thank you very much. Really appreciate you volunteering to partner with us. We're excited for what we're calling Boot Camp to Work. This is the first year that we've run this initiative, and it's a pretty big undertaking for us. Little history, Del Castle has been doing career and technical education for 53 years now, and we're the largest vocational high school in the state of Delaware. But to my knowledge, this is the first time we've run a week-long program such as this. We infuse soft skills into our technical training and our career and tech ed training on a daily basis. But this year we want to really slow things down and be very hyper focused through COVID. There's a lot of things that were lost. Our students are a little bit behind where they typically are because they lost a lot of classroom time. So we're gonna take this opportunity to really focus heavily on those soft skill training skills before we send them out to the world. Um, so that'll introduce boot camp to work. I have a quick little PowerPoint here that I'll share with you. There we go. Okay. All right. So boot camp to work is going to be and just real quick, if you can double check and make sure you're muted, just so that we can get our message across here. I appreciate it. Boot Camp to Work is going to be a week-long initiative that's going to kick off next week. It'll be Monday through Thursday. This is our last week in school before we head off to spring break. So we felt it was a really good opportunity where academics and CTE training in the classroom is starting to wind down as we prepare to be out of the building. So timing should be just right for us. And we're going to focus on the class of 2023, which is our juniors, our rising seniors. And we're sort of promoting this as the next step to co-op. Co-op is our work-based learning program where we send them out and they work part of the day while they're in school part of the day. And our class of 2023 is the next group up for that program. Okay. Purpose, deliberate focus on workforce development through soft skill reinforcement. And we're really, the thing that's really cool about Boot Camp to Work is that it's typically our career and tech ed instructors that are heading this up. And we thought that this would bring a whole new element to it by reaching out to industry experts, different HR managers that are doing the hiring and overseeing all the different personnel issues in the workplace. We really wanted to focus on those individuals coming in and just reinforcing that message that we try to deliver on a daily basis. You can see our agenda here. This group is really going to be focused primarily on Monday and Tuesday. Those of you that volunteered for Monday is resume building and interview skills. Tuesday is going to be what we call soft skills for success. We do have events taking place Wednesday and Thursday as well, which you can see. Diversity, equity, and inclusion in the workplace is on Wednesday. We have already taken care of that content. And then Thursday, we will round the week out with a large career fair, which some of you and your organizations are already participating in. Okay. So here's our schedule. Monday and Tuesday schedule is going to be the same. And I will send this out via email after this presentation so that you have this as well. But you can see, I know that I used abbreviations here. So really quickly, BMS is biomedical sciences, MA is medical assistance. Those will actually take place, our Sharp Center. So if you're instructing through the Sharp Center, that is actually at our sister location, which is about a quarter-mile down the road from Del Castle. We call it Marshallton, and that's where all of our healthcare clusters are housed. But you can report here to Del Castle, and I'll be sure and show you your way over there. So you can report to Del Castle, and then I'll help you get to the next location. So if you're in red, you're presenting on Monday according to the list Lola sent me, and if you're in blue, that's Tuesday. So BMS is biomedical sciences, MA medical assisting, WG is welding, SM is sheet metal, CY carpentry, CL is chem lab, NT is nurse tech, ST is surgical technology. Again, we have medical assisting. CA is culinary arts. ET is electrical trades. We're down at 1250 slot now. Group E is TD, tech drafting. BT is business tech. DA, dental assisting. PC is production. Our 130 slots, group F, PL is plumbing. AC is HVAC. AT is auto tech. AV is aviation. AB is auto body. And group G, CO is cosmetology. GA, graphic arts. IT, information technology. And DM is our digital media program. So we actually have 24 programs, 23 of which will be represented Monday and Tuesday. Our 24th one is actually a new program starting next school year. So that is our tentative schedule. Again, I will send this out in email after this. So kind of what we'd be looking at from you. So for the seminars, again, I'm going to focus on the first two columns as DEI has already been built. Resume building, if you're presenting on Monday, resume building, interview skills. All of our students should already have a rough resume they built during their freshman year. If any of you have ever worked with a high school student, the difference between freshman year and junior year are like 2 lifetimes away. They seem to forget everything that went on 2 years prior. So hopefully they will have the resume with them, not necessarily in your seminar, but the expectation is that after your seminar, they will return to their career area and they'll take what they learned from you to update the resume and just beef it up a little bit. So we're looking at what should the resume look like, formatting, any sort of tips, the must-have items, making sure their name is on there, valid contact information, that their voicemail is set up and that it's clear, all those things that you're looking for, in the HR world when you try to contact a potential candidate for a job. Love for you to be able to, sorry about that, I'm trying to let someone in. Love for you to provide students with some sample resumes if possible. Any sort of handouts or resources you can provide would be a benefit. Talking about action words, section titles. If a resume reference sheet should be included in there, whatever your opinion is on that. Again, any handouts you could include. So for resume building, that's what we're looking for. I realize there's 6 or 7 different seminars that'll be taking place throughout the day, and each presenter's seminar could look totally different from the rest of them. We're not looking for a blanket one that everybody's in uniform across the board. You have the creative freedom to sort of shape and mold your specific seminar or session to however you see fit. So any resources that you see fit that might benefit them, we encourage that. You're welcome to send me any of that ahead of time. I'm happy to make copies and have that prepared for you ahead of time. If you want to send me just one digital version, I can have that ready to go. And then that way you don't have to worry about however many people are in your sessions. I'll just give you a whole folder with everything that you sent to me. Also, if you have any PowerPoints that you plan on using that day, we do have technology available. Just ask that you arrive early enough to be able to connect to it, and we can work out any of those kinks and bugs. The second part of that seminar, which would be interview skills, creating a first impression, receiving and answering questions, concluding the interview, leaving a lasting impression, having a question prepared or two at the end of the interview, body language, appearance, dress, all of those things that you would be looking for in an interview with an entry-level 17, 18-year-old student. Some of our students aren't going to have a shirt and tie, but they should at least have a polo shirt. In fact, we're going to give them a polo shirt through boot camp to work. So just keep those things in mind. I share a quick little story. This past summer, I had a student had a great job opportunity up in Pennsylvania, electrical trade student. He's going to go up there for an interview. Shows up in a pair of jeans that were all ripped up, and he bought them that way from top to bottom. And they just sent him home, didn't even interview him. And when I talked to him, he said, "But Mr. Boone, I wore my best pants that I have. I mean, I paid $80 for these jeans." In his mind, because he spent $80 on them, they're nice pants. And maybe they are for going out, hanging out with friends, but not appropriate for an interview. And those are the things that we do reinforce here, but it's just a matter of retention, and I think hearing it from all of you will go a lot further. Any questions on resume building, interview skills, what we might be looking for there, hoping to get out of it? And again, these are just some recommendations, feel free to build that however you see fit. Any questions
Dan-
on that?
Daniel, this is Nancy Duty. What's our time frame?
Good question. We're shooting for 30 to 40 minutes total. Okay. And again, not looking for really hands-on practical exercises during your seminar. Certainly, you can get the group involved and have some student interaction. But when they return to their career area instructors will take all this information that they've just gathered and they'll sit down with them, work on those resumes. They'll do mock interviews back in their career areas afterwards. Any other questions? All right, I'll jump into soft skills. If you think of something later, just let me know. So, soft skills for success, we're just talking about what does it take to be successful as an entry level employee. So showing up on time, dressed appropriately, having the any sort of tools or anything else that you need for work, um, conflict resolution, being able to get along with your peers, um, what happens if I don't get along with someone? How do I navigate through that to be able to still be successful, but this person drives me crazy at work and it's the only person I'm working with day in and day out? How do we navigate through that? Technology usage. We get a lot of the earbuds are in and the students are doing their thing and we say, hey, take your earbuds out. And they have them in and they're not turned on. In their mind, it's totally fine because they're not listening to music through there. Just driving home that it's all about perception and having the earbuds in. We don't know that they're not on. So it's just not appropriate for the workplace. Dependability, so attendance, tardiness, work completion, all those sorts of things. A general work ethic, having a strong work ethic. We drill this into them, what we call employability skills. Every single day, students are graded in our career areas on employability skills. And that's what we're looking at as work ethic there. Provide students with different scenarios that maybe you've encountered through HR within different companies that you've worked for, real world situations. Talk about those. Is this appropriate? Is it not appropriate? Why or why not? And just creating some general discussion throughout there, I think would be a great opportunity. Discuss common infractions our students face in the co-op workplace, and I've listed a few of them there. Punctuality, you know, workday starts at 7 o'clock, so they roll in at 7 o'clock, but inevitably they're late 2 days a week by 2 or 3 minutes because they're shooting for 7 o'clock on the nose. So just being a little bit early so that we can make sure we're punctual. How to handle call outs appropriately. Again, technology usage, appearance, motivation's a big one. We get a lot of I'm given a task to do, and then after I complete that task, I wait for someone to come to me with the next task. And we battle that often. And we always talk to them about taking the initiative to figure out what needs to happen next. If you absolutely have no idea, ask someone, pick up a broom and clean up, take the trash out. I relate. If you're at home and it's pizza night and the trash is piled up and you're done with your paper plate and you walk over and you somehow manage to balance that thing right on top of the trash can. Whoop! I got it to stay. It's not my responsibility. You know that trash needs to be taken out. Just take care of it. Don't wait for somebody to tell you. Staying engaged and interested at work is a big one. Um, this is their first step towards their career, so hopefully they are interested and engaged in that. So soft skills for success. Again, 30 to 40 minutes. Just looking for some general interaction. There any kind of handouts that you might have. That's completely fine. I think handouts are certainly very appropriate for resume building. There may be some out there for soft skills as well, but something they can take back with them and work on in their career area once they leave us. Any questions on soft skills for success? All right. Again, DEI, we've already built that, so I'm going to just move on from there. And I put this together just sort of as a general kind of a checklist, what we would need from you. Obviously, early enough to connect with any technology that we have, get comfortable with your space. We can rearrange desks or the area however you prefer. Some of you will be in some of these areas for multiple sessions. So we can kind of make it your own for that day based off what you see. Prepare for 30 to 40-minute presentations. Technology is available. You can bring handouts for students or email them to me ahead of time. I have my contact information there. Real world scenarios are great. Anytime we can create different discussions with the students and get them engaged, keeping their attention that way, it's going to go a long way. Some of you are going to have some large groups. And I try to break it down as best I could, but logistically, with the number of students we have and the spaces we have available, that's the best we could do. So creating that engagement in there is going to be key in some of those situations. Again, just reinforcing additional resources you might have. Um, and please remember, a lot of our students have never had a job before. This is the first job experience they've ever had. So, we can't assume that they know because they just don't. From when we were growing up to how students grow up today is very different. A lot of parents today hire people to come in and do everything for them, even cleaning the house and cutting the grass. Students aren't exposed to those type of things ahead of entering the workforce. So that work ethic really hasn't been developed at home in a lot of situations, and they're working on that here with us. So sometimes we take for granted what we would assume they should already know, and the reality is no one has told them that before they came here to us. So just start from square one, the absolute basics, and then build from there. I'm going to stop sharing here. Okay, maybe. If I can get it to. Dr. Kamaji, am I still sharing there? My, oh, here we go. I've lost my button. There it is. Okay. We had a few of our administrators jump on a little bit late. I want to take just a quick moment and recognize Dr. Hayes. He's our school principal and been a big driving force behind supporting this. So, Dr. Hayes, the group.
Well, can you hear me? Or is my button off? Okay, all right, good. Have to check. First of all, I just want to thank you all for jumping on here and giving up your time to really make an impact on our students. I'm really looking forward to this week that we have coming up. I just think that some students either have not really heard it in the way that they'll hear it. Just hearing it from some fresh faces is just really going to emphasize where we're trying to get the student to be, especially with the resume writing and some of those soft skills that I think we'll talk to her blue in the face until they graduate. We really want them to get it. So thank you so much for bringing your expertise and to work with our students. I really appreciate it.
Great. Thank you very much. I don't want to eat up too much of your time. I'm going to do that next week. So I try to keep that short and sweet. Again, I'll send this presentation out to all of you as well as the recording for anyone that couldn't attend. But any last questions that may be thought of afterwards there? You certainly have my contact information as well if you need to follow up afterwards. But any questions we can entertain?
Daniel, what do you mean by a resource page, like with links to where they can find information? Because it seems silly to print that out. If there's a way that they can get that electronically, then they have an electronic resource
Yes.
to
So
use.
the only issue with electronically is that I can do that, but we're going to have students from different career areas and different seminars. So I to sort of target only the students that you have in yours, it gets really tedious on our end to
Okay.
go in and hand select all of them. I can do that if you have that available. We can do that. What I was really referring to there in terms of a resource is like a template for a resume.
Oh,
If you
okay.
have a template, some
Yeah.
place online they can go to where they can find templates or a how
Yes.
to. There are even some websites that'll walk you through. You just enter in your information and it'll build a resume for you. So
Okay. Yeah. Well, I have a presentation and I have those kind of links built into the presentation as well as samples.
and what I can
So
do in that case is if you want to share that with me, I can get
sure.
that in the hands of each of the instructors for the students that you have, and they can post
Okay.
it in our Schoology platform online
Okay.
we use. Yep,
Okay.
we can definitely get it in their hands if that's easier
All
for
right. I just think it's easier electronically than having them type in something.
you. Sure, sure, no
Okay.
problem.
Thank you.
Yep. Any other questions? Kim?
Hey, Dan, do you guys have the students create a LinkedIn account as part of their um, preparation for interviews?
We have not. However, if
Okay.
it's something that you wanted to cover as, again, an additional resource, hey, this is a great way to network, start to
Mhm.
build that network for you. And that's not something that we've covered. We go as far as resumes, and then that's it.
Okay.
Okay.
One more thing.
Yep.
How much participation can we expect or hope for out of the kids in a session like this? It's been a long time since I've been in a classroom.
Yeah, good question. I think it depends on the students that you have. You know, some of our career areas and just the nature of the field that they're in, those students are going to be more apt to participate. Some of our students that are, you know, for example, if I go into an auto tech classroom, I may get a different participation level there versus a medical assisting classroom. You know, one just very different personalities in there. I think some are more reserved than others. Our students are very good, and I think that if you're asking for responses in there, you're definitely going to have a few students that are going to jump up and get involved very quickly, and it tends to get contagious as you start asking questions. They'll jump in and participate. I don't think that if you have 65 students in there that 50 of them are going to be firing back, but you'll have 5 or 6 or 10 of them that'll stay involved with you. Anything else? All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and close us out then. Feel free to stick around. I'll jump off last if anybody wants to stick around and has a follow-up question. And again, I'll push all this out to you this afternoon as well. I can't thank you enough for taking the time to join us, and I look forward to a very successful, fun week for all of us next week. Thank you, and I'll see you on Monday or Tuesday.
Thank you. Bye.